Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. For today's webinar on Canadian newspaper quarterly filing preparation. Just a few housekeeping things before we get started. Due to the size that we have, I'm going to have everyone on mute. However, I will be taking questions, but I will be taking questions at the end of the webinar. If time allows, I will address your questions during the webinar. Otherwise, I will address your questions, but it will be offline. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start this webinar on quarterly filing for our Canadian newspaper clients. So bear with me as I start my slideshow. So for today's webinar, we're going to be discussing about Canadian newspaper quarterly filing. We're going to be going over the key points about quarterly filing, why the switch over from our 6-month statement filing to quarterly filing. I will be doing a brief PowerPoint presentation to highlight the key points about the quarterly filing, and also going over the enhancements as well. I will be then switching over from my PowerPoint presentation to a live demonstration of the filing tool itself. I will be going step by step through the filing process. Also, if time allows, at the end of the webinar, I will address your questions during the webinar. However, if I do run out of time, I will address your questions, but it will be offline. I would also like to point out, for those who are attending the webinar, you will be receiving an email from me afterwards that will have the recorded session of this webinar. Also, too, there will be other resource materials sent to you. So one of the main questions we have been receiving lately is about why the switch? Why are Canadian newspaper clients now required to switch over from a 6-month statement filing over to quarterly filing? Truly, the main reason why is to have your data out there more timely out in the marketplace. We want to have buyers be able to help buyers buy and sellers sell. And by having your quarterly filing out there, you're going to be having it out there on a more timely basis. Also, too, with the quarterly filing, it's going to be effective with the fourth quarter, December 2016. So with the fourth quarter, December 2016, is when you're going to begin quarterly filing. There's been some enhancements made to the quarterly report as well, to your statement report that you will notice. One of the main features that has been enhanced is the circulation summary section. Now, you're still going to have a section that's going to have all the detail about your distribution, your distribution by category, such as your paid, your home delivery, your qualified non-paid distribution. However, there's going to be another section added, which is your circulation summary. It's going to take all your print information, all your digital information, and as well as your affiliated publications, which I'm going to explain here in a moment, and put it up as a quick summary, a quick view, to give you a picture of your total distribution. And what's great about this is it adds up all your print distribution, your digital, any affiliated publication, and it combines it into one total. What this does, it just allows the reader of the report to see what your true picture is of your total distribution. So this is a great feature that has been added. Also, too, for our clients that are reporting digital replica and non-replica, you will be reporting this distribution separately. It used to be in the past you had the opportunity to report this as a combined number, but now it is going to be reported separately. So for our clients that are reporting digital replica and non-replica, they are reported as a separate line item in the report. So we have digital replica and our digital non-replica. One of the other great features that has been added, I'm real excited about this, is our optional reporting for affiliated publications. This really allows for you to tell a really more robust story of your distribution, because a lot of our publications have more than just their main edition of the paper. They have other weekly products. They have TMC products, extended market coverage products. They also have weekly products. So what this reporting affiliate publication allows you to do is to report that distribution on one report. So you're going to be able to report your affiliated publications under one report. It's going to have its own breakout in the quarterly data report. So it has the detailed distribution. But also what it does too is in the circulation summary, it includes the summary information of the affiliated publication. So you can add your main publication and your affiliated publication together to come up with this total combined average circulation. Again, this is a great opportunity for you to really tell a full, robust story of your true distribution that you have. If you are interested in reporting your affiliated publications, please contact AAM, and then we will go over the different reporting opportunities you have for your reporting of affiliated publication, as well as the additional investment that it goes with the reporting of affiliated publications. We also have another new element that you're able to do as well. This is also optional reporting. Again, it's truly to help tell that full story of your publication. It's not just your print distribution, but telling about your cross-media metrics, talking about your website activity, what is your page per views, also talking about your social media, what are your Facebook likes, your Twitter followers, also about your newsletter distribution. So again, another opportunity to show on one report your total footprint that's out there on your publication, because a lot of publications are more than just their main publication. They're affiliated publications, they have website activity, they have social activity. So why not report that on one report? It's a great way to be able to tell your full story, great way to use as a selling tool. So again, if you're interested in reporting your cross-media metrics, please contact AAM, and we're more than happy to go over the different opportunities with you about the reporting for the different opportunities for website activity, your mobile activity, social activity in the newsletter, and also to the additional investment to report these elements. With the quarterly filing, we have also streamlined some processes. One of the processes that we have streamlined, or the reporting element, is the explanatory section. We really have condensed this, made it more simplified for the explanatories. So when it comes time to filing, and I will do a live demonstration of this, there's going to be a section called explanatory, and there's going to be a blue button that says add explanatory. When you click on this button, it's going to have a pull down menu of all the different explanatory options available out there. You're going to click on the gray box and then the detail will pop up. But we really did streamline our explanatories to be more simplified and concise. So switching over from our statement, 6-month statement filing periods to quarterly filing, there are some dates you really need to keep in mind. So for our March ending quarter, that will be due April 15th. Our quarterly filings are always due the 15th of the following month at the end of the quarter. So what does that mean? For March, it's due April 15th. June, it's going to be due July 15th. September, it's due October 15th. And December is due January 15th. Please note, sometimes the deadline does fall on a weekend day. So what will happen is then the deadline will be moved forward to that following Monday. So for example, our December 2016 quarter is going to be due on Monday, January 16, 2017. One of the other processes that we have streamlined now with quarterly filing is the proof process. Now, when you submit your quarterly data, just like you did for your statements, when you submit that information online, it goes through a review process. And what we do is we compare what you filed to what was previously filed. We look for any changes, major fluctuations, any questions, we do contact you. After that review process, before we release it into the database, we do reach out to you and we say, hey, you have one more chance to look at this before we release it into our database. In the past, what we used to do was we would send you an email, and in that email would be an attached PDF document of the actual statement. And you would have a chance to look at it and say, yes, I approve, or no, I do not approve. I have some corrections to be made. That process is still in place, however, it has been tweaked. What's going to happen, you'll still receive an email, but this email, instead of having an attached PDF document, what it's going to have is instructions on to go back into the filing tool, and it's going to direct you into going into the Review and Submit section of the filing tool, click on View Quarterly Data, and when you view quarterly data, it's going to show the information that you have inputted for quarterly filing. What's in this View section is how it's going to look essentially into our database. So there's not the need to have a hard copy or a PDF sent to you. It's directing you back into the filing tool, because what you see in this View Quarterly Data is what will be released into the database. So it has an opportunity for you to look at it, say, yes, I approve, or no, I do not approve. And so also in this email, there is going to be a link saying I approve or I decline. If you decline, well, then you're going to let us know the reasons why you're declining. Most likely it's due because you have a correction that needs to be made. So I just want to point out that we have streamlined the proof copy process. Instead of receiving a hard copy or PDF document, it's going to direct you to go back into the filing tool, go into View Quarterly Data. But the email itself is going to have a link for approval and if you have corrections. So just like your statements when it is released, what you're going to have in where they're going to be located, they are going to be housed in AAM's Media Intelligence Center, also known as the MIC, and it's going to be in the Reports Library section, just like your statements. But instead of being for 6 months period, it's going to be for your quarter period. And you'll be able to, everyone who's a client of AAM has full access to our Media Intelligence Center, and you'll be able to pull down all the PDFs of your publication, as well as other clients as well that are in our database. Another exciting feature too is not only will you be able to pull your information in a PDF format, but you're going to be able to pull it into what's known as the Canadian Newspaper Analyzer tool. This is going to be coming out here shortly, and what this will allow you to be able to do is to do more in-depth analysis. You're going to be able to pull all the data that's in that quarterly data report into an Excel file, do comparisons. You can not only do comparisons year over year for your publication, but you're able to do comparisons to other publications for competitive analysis. So this is a real exciting feature that's coming soon for our Canadian clients, and there will be another training, other training opportunities and another webinar training materials about this coming out here shortly. So when your quarterly data report is released, it's going to be housed in a Reports Library section in the Media Intelligence Center. Also, too, it's going to be included in our Canadian Newspaper Analyzer tool as well. So before I go into the live demonstration about quarterly filing, just some helpful tips about preparing for quarterly filing. Because the filing tool itself is fairly intuitive, it's fairly easy to navigate once you get into it. But before you get into the filing tool, there's some things that you have to have prepared before you start the filing. The main thing that you'll need is your circulation ledger report. Now, this is different for every publication. It depends on your circulation system that you have out there. Some publications are using DTI. They have a report that's called ABC History. Some have their own Excel file. But basically what it is, it's a report that reports all your distribution by category. And so here's an example of one that I pulled. It's a real simple one, but it has each day of the week, and then it summarizes it by quarter. And one thing I want to point out that we're going to need for quarterly filing is the net total. And I'm going to tell you about why when we get into the live demo. But so you want your circulation report, and so instead of for 6 months, you're going to need it for the quarter. So for the December quarter, it's going to be your information from October 1st through December 31st. The other thing that you're going to want on hand is your previous released AAM document, your last statement, your last quarterly report. The reason why is because usually there's not fluctuations from quarter to quarter, from statement to statement, major fluctuations or additional categories that have been added. It should be relatively in line unless you have changed the way you're doing distribution, or if you're adding new areas that you want to distribute to, obviously there will be change. But for the most part, you use your previous filed statement quarter as a guideline, just to kind of keep on track, making sure that when you go in the filing tool that you have all the reporting categories that you're entering data for. And just to let you know, when we go through a review process, we do use your previous report just to kind of look for trends, fluctuations, things of that nature. If we know some really big spikes, we will question you just to say, hey, is this true? Is this really accurate? Or does a correction need to be made? Also, too, some quick navigational tips that you're going to want to know when you go into the filing tool. Recommended browser is you want to use either Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Internet Explorer really does not work well with our filing tool interface or even with the Media Intelligence Center. You really want to use Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. Also, too, if you get anything out of this webinar, is to save and save often. When you're doing data entry, you want to make sure you save periodically. We do have some clients who would like to data enter everything and then save. Well, that usually doesn't work because when you're doing your filing, you're going to be multitasking. You're going to get interrupted by people stopping by your desk. Also, too, emails pop up, phone calls. So there is a timing. Our filing tool does time out after so many minutes of inactivity. So you want to make sure that you save and you save often. So through each section in the filing tool, there's a save or a save and continue. So save means when you click on save, it'll just save the information in that section and still let you stay in that section. Save and continue means that it's going to save the information you inputted, but it's going to move you to the next section. Both work well. You just want to remember to save. And you will see a message that will say successfully saved when you have saved. Also, too, you can use your tab key to tab over to various fields throughout the filing tool. The red X, if you ever see this red X, this is a delete function. The plus is an addition function. It usually means that you can add a field into a particular area. Also, to this red box, this is a calendar icon. It's a drop-down menu for a calendar. There's a lot of information out there, too, when it comes time to the filing. You may have some questions that pop up. So we have a great resource. We have a link here. This link has awesome resource. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment here. But it has our frequently asked questions about quarterly filing. It also has a very detailed filing guide that's a step-by-step. Also, too, we have a wonderful 5-minute video tutorial. This kind of goes through the filing tool section by section in 5 minutes, so it gives you a brief overview. But at any point in time you do have questions about quarterly filing, please do not hesitate to contact me. Again, my name is Sandy Liking. I'm the training manager here at AAM. My office number is 224-366-6342. You can also reach me by email. So it's my sandi.liking@auditedmedia.com. So with that, that is my PowerPoint presentation for this webinar. Now what I'm going to get into is into the live demonstration of the filing tool. So what you need to do in order to access the filing tool, you need to go into AAM's website. So this is auditedmedia.com. And when you go into the website, in the upper right-hand corner, what you are going to see is a login feature. This login feature has a pull-down menu when you click on the arrow, and there's two opportunities. One is the Media Intelligence Center, one is the Publishing Filing Center. The one that you're going to be interested in for filing is the Publishing Filing Center. very similar to how it was when you were filing your 6-month statement. So now it's going to be asking you for your credentials, your login credentials. It's going to be your member number, username, and password. If you're unsure what your username and password is for your publication, please contact us and we're more than happy to provide that for you. So I made a publication here. Here's my member number. I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now I have some more opportunities, more options. So what the one I want quarterly filing online. And I am going to be filing my December 16, 2016. Once I click on this, it gives you an introduction screen. Now this introduction screen is wonderful. It has a lot of wonderful information in it, so just don't skip it. If you have some questions in it, it's a great screen because this education section, if you click on education, here's that link I was showing you in my PowerPoint. It has the frequently asked questions, it has the step-by-step guide, there's also the tutorial. I want to go in here real quick on the step-by-step guide. It's very detailed. It has pictures of all the different options in the filing tool, but it goes step by step, and it shows you detailed pictures and also what to do in a particular section step by step. So this is a great, great resource. Again, you can find this by just clicking on the education section in this introduction tab. And you can go into introduction at any point in time in the filing tool. How the filing tool is set up should look kind of familiar to you. It has the survey question, the questionnaire section. This is what we're going to have to fill in first. What we fill in the survey section here is going to dictate our distribution categories that will be throughout the filing tool. So once we get done with the questionnaire, then we're going to move into the circulation data entry. This section is where the your main data distribution is going to take place. So your main data input, this is your circulation reporting. You're going to report all your distribution by category, by frequency. You'll go through basic prices, the explanatory, and once you get done with your data entry, you're going to, in the final stages, is your review and submit. So there's 3 main components that you're going to be interested in: the questionnaire, the enter circulation data, and the review and submit. If you notice, there's also this other section for cross-media filing. This is for our clients that have opted into reporting their web metrics, their social media newsletter information. You're able to enter that information in this particular section. For this webinar, we will not be going through that. This is optional. If you are interested in reporting your cross-media metrics, please contact AAM, and we're more than happy to walk you through the process. But for today's webinar, I'm mostly interested in the questionnaire, the data, and the submit. So like I said, the very first thing you want to do is to go into the survey section. The survey section is going to be asking you questions about your publication. Very important question. It says, what are your newspaper's reporting categories? So my publication, I have both. I have print, I have digital replica, and I have non-replica. But I want to show you, so when I want to show you real quick, I'm going to skip into my circulation reporting. It's important that I indicated in the survey that I have print and digital because it's going to be outlined here in my circulation reporting. I have print, digital replica, and my non-replica. I'm going to go back in my survey, and I'm going to take off digital replica and my digital non-replica and just leave print. And I'm going to click Save. Remember, anytime you make changes, you want to click Save or Save and Continue, and you're going to get this message saying Successfully Saved. So now that I have done that, when I go into circulation reporting, there's only print. But my publication, I have digital. So I need to go back into the survey and make sure I indicate I have digital. So that's why it's important that you start with the survey first and make sure that information that they have indicated in there is correct. Then it's also going to ask you for your contact information as well as the advertising director. Just go ahead. We pulled this information from your previous file. last time you filed with us, but just make sure everything is updated and correct. Once you're satisfied with the survey page, click Save or Save and Continue. So I'm going to click Save and Continue, and what happens is it drops me into Main Edition Pub Plan. Now in this section, this is where you get to indicate if you had any non-publishing days during the quarter period or any omitted days. Your non-publishing days, those are the days you truly did not publish. So if you didn't happen to publish on Christmas, Thanksgiving. So for example, I've already added October 11th as a non-publishing day, but I need to add that I didn't publish on Christmas. So I'm going to click this plus button, and I'm going to click on the red calendar box here, and I'm going to scroll so that I find my month that I want. I have December 25th, and I didn't publish on Christmas. And then I click Save. So now the filing tool knows that I had 2 non-publishing days. I had for October 11th as well as December 25th. If you happen to make a mistake and you're like, oops, you know, that's not correct, just use a red X and it deletes it. Same thing happens with the omitted days. The omitted days, those are days you actually did publish, but your circulation was so low due to, it could be if there was weather related, you couldn't get the paper out, you could have an omitted day. So in my example here, I had December 20th. It was a nasty snowstorm that happened, so we weren't able to get the paper out that we have liked to, so we wanted to eliminate that day. So that's omitted day. Same procedure as non-publishing day, it's just under omitted days. You hit the plus button, go through the calendar, and then also you're going to input your net circulation for that day. A couple other things you'll find in this section here is your quarter date range. It is always set to be by month, so my quarter is going to be October 1st through December 31st. However, some publications are in a financial quarter. If that's the case, you can click on the red box, which is the calendar, and you can then change when your quarter actually starts. So for most publications, they're mostly on the same typical month-ending quarter. You also have this section here, it's called Publishing Plan. This Publishing Plan, there's nothing for you to do other than review it. Lets you know that based on what you filed previously, the days of the week that you publish. For my publication, I publish every day. But let's say, you know what, we've had a change. We no longer publish on Sunday. So what you'll need to do if you have any frequency changes is you need to contact Tim Lean at 224-366-6435. And what he'll do is he'll update our system to reflect your true frequencies that you published. Now, if you notice, once I do all this information, I fill this out, I'm going to click Save. If you don't have any non-publishing days or omitted days, everything checks out okay, you just click Save, Save and Continue. What that does is then it pops me over to Affiliated Pub Plan. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is for those who are opting to report their affiliate publication. Remember, your first time reporting, you want to contact AAM so we can go through the different reporting opportunities and the investment that it will be for reporting your affiliate publication. First initial setup, we're going to be calling Tim Lean to help you set it up into our system. But just to let you know, for like your main edition pub plan, this pub plan is for your main edition affiliate publication. This is for, you would fill out for your affiliate publication about your non-publishing days and omitted days. Because your affiliate publication is going to have different non-publishing days and omitted days than your main publication. The next feature is reconciliation of days. Now this is where you're not going to do any data input, but you do want to look at it. So I'm going to go into my title of the publication, and here what it's going to show you is the number of possible days initially. So there's 14 Saturdays, 13 Sundays, and 65 Mondays through Fridays during this quarter. However, I had an omitted day and a non-pub day. So this is what my net publishing days are. These net publishing days should correspond with your circulation record. You just want to double check that, because these net days is what's going to be used to calculate your averages in the filing tool. Once you're done with that, then you're just going to click Continue. We're moving right along, and we're going to go into our circulation reporting section. This is where most of your time is going to be spent doing the data entry. Now, one of the things that has changed is that you're not going to be reporting averages in this section. Instead, you're going to be reporting net circulation totals. And I want to show you what happens if you report averages. So my publication on Saturday is around 8,500 for individual subscriptions. So if I put in that number here and click Save, and I'm going to go down to View Quarterly Data, and I'm going to show you what happens when I did that. So I actually have 8,500 on Saturday, but look, it converted it. It took that 8,500 divided by 14 Saturdays to come up with an average of 607. So that's why it is very important that you are reporting your net numbers, not averages, in this section. And just a quick, I just want to show you real quickly where you're going to be getting that information from. From your circulation ledger that you have, there's usually two features on that circulation report. There's your net total, and then it has the averages. You're going to want the net total, not the average, and that's what you're going to be picking up from your circulation ledger is the net total. Also, too, when you're reporting distribution for paid distribution for single copy, remember returns are deducted. It's net distribution. Net paid distribution is what you want to report for single copy. So you just go in and you start inputting your distribution by frequency, by category. Do want to point out that we have all the possible categories displayed for under our print, our digital replica, and non-replica. I'm going to go ahead and enter in some information here for my digital. I have individual subscriptions, but I don't have any single copy, so I just leave that blank. Once you start inputting your information, you only do it for the applicable categories that you have distribution for. And remember to save and save often. So we have save up here, save and continue. Also, we have the save buttons down here. Highly recommend that once you complete a section, you click Save. Some people have a habit of just entering everything and then saving. Well, what happens sometimes, you will not be able to save your information because there's a timing feature, a timeout feature in the filing tool. So you want to make sure you just save and save often. You don't have to save after every single data entry, but after a particular section, get in the habit of saving. Also, too, in this particular area, if you want to see what your subtotals are, click on Show Totals, and it'll show your subtotals for your total paid distribution, your total qualified, as well as your digital. And I did that by just clicking on the Show Totals. So this is where the most time is going to be spent for the filing. Once you have completed this, then you're going to go on to the next section with your basic prices. Basic price reporting is optional for our Canadian newspaper clients. So if you do not want to report your basic prices, you just check this box saying it's optional and you do not want to show your basic prices, and then click Save and Save and Continue. My publication, I actually have basic prices I want to report. Now, instead of being $22, it's actually increased to $25, and this is my annual rate. So you can just highlight, make any changes that are necessary, and then click Save. And here's my message that I have saved my information. Now I'm going into the explanatory section. Remember, in my PowerPoint presentation, I had stated that we've really streamlined our explanatories and we made them more concise. So if there's an explanatory you need to add, you click on this blue button, and it pulls down all the variety of explanatories that we have available. So just choose the one that pertains to your publication. You can, like if I have extra editions, I can click on that, fill it in, and click Save. I'm going to hit Close, and now I have two explanatories. This credit and arrears allowance, this is a really popular one. This is your 4%. And then here's my extra editions. Once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and click Continue. Now I'm in my final stage. I'm in my finals before I submit my information. I'm just going to, there's some few housekeeping things to go through. So view alerts. View alerts, you really want to look at this section if there's any errors that have occurred or messages. In this one, for my publication, it's just saying, hey, warning, new affiliate publication. Not that that's a bad thing, that's actually a great thing, but it's just letting you know, hey, this, wanting you to know you have an affiliate publication that you're reporting. Next is upload images, upload files. In this section here, if you want the logo of your publication to be reported on your quarterly data report, you can certainly do that by uploading either a TIFF or JPEG format of your logo. If you do that, go ahead and upload it, and then it'll save, and then it'll click continue. The next section is publisher comments. In this area, this is if you want to indicate anything to AAM that would help with the review process, to saying, hey, we added a new category, or just anything of that nature. You don't have to fill it out. If there's everything status quo, you just leave it blank and click on continue. If you do have any publisher comments, I can just say added new affiliate as and just click save. So it'll save the message. Anything that you find that would be helpful for the review process, you're going to put here. If not, don't worry about it. You can just click save and continue. Next section is real important here is view quarterly data. Now this is where you get to see what was actually inputted and converted into averages. So by clicking on the gray area, I'm going to click on the circulation summary calculated averages, and I'm going to click on the actual detail. So what this does is all that information I have, if you click on the net circulation here, this is what I inputted during the circulation reporting section. So those are my numbers, and then what it does, it converts it into averages. So here is my average for my print subscriptions, my single copy. Allows you to look at it, make sure that this is accurate, that this corresponds with your circulation record. You're like, oh, wait, I have some missing categories here. I need to go back into my circulation reporting here and fill in that information. So the view quarterly data is very important for you to prove, because it allows you to see, one, how the filing tool actually converted your distribution into averages, and two, making sure that you reported all the necessary categories and the information corresponds with your circulation record. If we remember during my PowerPoint presentation, I talked about the streamlining of the proof process, where we're not going to be sending you a PDF document. What it's going to do, you're going to receive an email, and it's going to direct you to go back into the filing tool and go into view quarterly data to double check to make sure that before we release it, this is the information that we have on file for you that will be released into our database. It's going to direct you to go back into here, into the filing tool under view quarterly data to look at your information before we release it. So that's a great feature that we have in the filing tool. Once you're satisfied with everything, then the next thing you're going to do is to go into the final steps. Final steps is your electronic signature. So you'll type in your name, and then you're going to put in what your title is. And then right below it, there's a little tiny box. You want to check that. By checking that, it's your electronic signature. You no longer have to send a hard copy of your signature. It's done electronically by checking this box. Filling your name, your title, checking the box, and basically what this is you're attesting to all the information that you have inputted into the filing tool is true and accurate to the best of your abilities. Also, too, you want to make sure that you type in your email address. By typing in your email address, you're going to receive a confirmation email from us saying that your information has been submitted. Once you are satisfied with everything, you put in your name, you check the box, you're going to click this blue button saying Submit Quarterly Data to AAM. By clicking that button, what will happen is you're going to get an email confirmation saying your information has been submitted, And also, too, the screen will say, thank you for submitting your data. So as you can see, the filing tool itself is fairly intuitive. It does have prompts. Remember, the first thing you need to do is make sure that the information, the survey, has been updated, making sure that you have indicated print, and if you're reporting your digital distribution, making sure the contact information has been updated as well. In the main edition pub plan, just make sure that you've updated all your non-publishing days and omitted days if you have any. Just double check this, make sure we have all the frequencies indicated for you. Again, if you have a change in frequency, please contact Tim Lean at 224-366-6435. Here is your quarter date range. If you have any questions or if you need to change your quarter date range, you certainly could do that by just clicking on the red box, the calendar drop-down box, and you can select when your quarter actually physically starts. But most publications, you're traditional, you start the first of the month and you end at the end. If we're reporting affiliated publications for the very first time, please contact AAM. You're going to contact Tim Lean and I'll help you with that format. Remember, affiliated publications, this is the opportunity to report your TMCs, your EMCs, any branded editions, weeklies you have, so it can be reported on one document for you. Again, that's affiliated publications. If you do not have affiliated publications, you just skip that and you go into reconciliation of days, double check to make sure that the filing tool, we have the net days correct for you. I have omitted days, my non-publishing days have been accounted for. If you're like, oh wait, I have one more non-publishing day, then you just go back into the main edition pub plan and go ahead and add in that non-publishing day. So this net days will be updated correctly. Then you go into your data circulation reporting. This is where you report your distribution by category, by frequency. Remember that it's net total circulation that you're reporting, not averages. Also remember to save and save often. Basic prices, this indicated for reporting basic prices. If not, click the box saying that you decided not to report your basic prices. Explanatories have been really streamlined. Click on the Add Explanatories and click on the one that is applicable to your publication. Then you're going into the review and submit, final stages. So it's really not a lengthy process. It's fairly quick. You go into view alerts, just double check there's no error messages that are popping up. If you want to upload the logo of your publication, you can do that as either a TIFF or JPEG format. Publisher comments, just let us know of any changes we need to be aware of, or you can leave this blank. And then view quarterly data. This is where you actually get to proof your information. This is by clicking on the gray box. Here's my calculated averages. You could click on net circulation, but really that doesn't give you the actual picture of what's going to be released into our database. What does, I'm going to deselect that, is the calculated averages. So you want calculated averages so you can see how the filing tool actually converted your information into averages. Also, to remember, this is what's going to be used once we go through the review process and you get an email from us saying you get to look at your data one more time before we release it. It's going to direct you into view quarterly data. And then in the final step, just remember to put your name and title, check the box, email confirmation, your email address, and then click submit quarterly data. So with that, I'm going just real briefly click on to see what questions we have. If we have any questions that are popping up. One thing I do kind of want to remind people just real quickly, we talked about reporting of your reporting net circulation. Remember that the filing due date for our December quarter, since January 15th is a Sunday, it's going to be due Monday, January 16th. Also, too, if you want to report affiliated publications, great opportunity for you. Please contact AAM, and we're more than happy to discuss the different opportunities for reporting your affiliated publications. Same thing with your cross-media metrics. your website activity, please contact us. But as always, I want to let you know that we have a great resource out there on this link, the FAQs, the filing guide. Please use that. Great material out there. But you can always contact me at 224-366-6342 or at sandy.liking@auditedmedia.com. So thank you so much for attending today's webinar. Hope you learned some good information about the quarterly filing, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.